Hi, my name is Will Raderman. I'm one of the research fellows on the CUSP team. I'm here to show you how to use some of the policy data that we've collected that you can actually end up using for some of your own research projects. So if you're seeing my screen, this is what the front page of the CUSP website looks like, and we're going to take a look at the policy data. You can look at it in the form of graphs as well as the raw data itself, and then the documentation that we've collected when actually putting the data library together. I helped with a lot of the unemployment insurance and workplace safety protections information. So we're going to take a look at those to kind of describe what you can do or what's available. Early on in the pandemic, there were some pretty important changes that happened for unemployment benefits where states were waiving 1 week waiting periods as well as work search requirements. So we actually see a certain amount of variation between states there, and then whether or not states reinstated those kinds of requirements since then. And then you'll also see that there are states that have implemented expansions of eligibility according to whether or not someone has needed to quarantine or have lost childcare since the pandemic has occurred. We also see that there are variations between states on the actual maximum amounts of money that someone can receive on unemployment insurance between each state, and then the actual duration that benefits could last for according to where you're a resident. And then last but not least, we've got information about the actual extended benefits programs between states, which these are activated in periods of high unemployment. So we've got the actual date where it was activated in each state, and then the point that they've deactivated in states that have had that deactivation actually occur. Some of the additional information for the states that have deactivated their programs since has to do with their total unemployment rate and then that rate relative to the prior year. And then for states that have opted to use additional metrics, they actually have the option to do so, and it allows for a 20-week extended benefit period in times of extremely elevated unemployment, while the regular extended benefits programs are 13 weeks. So all of that information is available for use, and you can actually connect or merge it with other data that you might be curious to look at to see if there are trends over time and potential connections. So that's for unemployment insurance. And then if you look at workplace protections, there's also a decent amount of variation between the states in terms of who's actually administering the plans, whether or not it's the state or the federal government. And then you'll also see that between states or among all the states, there are really not too many that have aerosol transmissible disease standards or air and ventilation standards at this point. And there's still less than half of states that have actually got some form of mandated paid sick leave. So there is certainly a long way to go in terms of making sure that there are better standards for workers across the country, but you can see that variation here. There are or have been a lot of liability protections that have been expanded to businesses as well as healthcare providers. There are variations between states as to who has been provided those protections. Some have expanded it to both. Others have either expanded it just to healthcare providers. And then there are some instances where it has only gone to businesses. And then lastly, we've got information about workers' compensation expansions. So you can see that there are differences among the states in the expansions themselves, what branch of government did the expansion, and then the types of workers that are actually benefiting from those expansions, which it may be a bit confusing just seeing how the coding looks here and what the numbers mean. If you go back to the main page for all the data library, there's the option to view the code book, and there in that location, you can actually see what all of the variable labels are and how everything has been coded. So I hope this has been helpful and good luck with your research.